What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to 3 Days Talking Podcast. Today, we have a I think this is the first time we have ever done this type of music before on an album review. Technically, not an album review, actually. Today, we have a paid music request, I guess is what you could say. We have some selected songs that somebody has paid us to react to and review on stream, and we very much appreciate it. This falls in line with our paid album request, which if you guys want to, you know how to do it. Links in the description below. There's also DM us on Discord, DM us on Twitter, and hit up our business email as well. But today, we're here to review some classical music by a composer. I think they're all called composers in classical music, right? I assume.
I mean, composing just means like writing.
Right. Okay. So fair enough. I don't know if this guy's an actual composer of it, but anyway, we're here to review some music here from
somebody composed it.
Maurice Ravel and I believe another person. This album that we're not going to review in the full album, but they did ask us to review 3 songs off the album called Piano Concerto in G. A bunch of other words, M83, I Allegramente, or that's the first Allegramente. There's 3 parts to it. Technically, apparently, they all fall under one song, but it's divided into 3 separate parts in this in Spotify. And then we have one more song on another album that is an 18-minute long song, and that is what we'll be reviewing for you guys today. I don't think any of us here know a single thing about Maurice Ravel. I don't think we know a single thing about this album or these songs, so there's not a whole lot for us to talk about, but thank you to the subscriber who paid for it. We really appreciate it. And we're going to get started. We're going to listen to Piano Concerto in G major, parts 1 through 3. So let's get into it from Maurice Ravel from 1987. Okay.
Feeling whimsical.
Wow. Was not expecting to start with a flute solo. Or what the hell is that in background instrument?
Yeah, there's a little bit of dissonance going on.
What in the Snow White fuck is going on here? Okay. I might bop into this.
Trumpeter was going crazy. Take a breath, man.
Okay, we have started off kind of heat. And now we've changed course, apparently. What the fuck is going on? Oh. It's weird.
I'm here for it.
Oh, he died in 37?
This is probably like a re-recording.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was re-recorded for this album in 87 then. It did go hard there for a second, Sai. We have crossed a lot of classical music spectrums already. I just looked at Noah's webcam on the OBS, and he is shining like a diamond right now. His face is just reflecting light.
Yeah, I got a bright screen, and like an hour and a half ago I hopped out the shower.
Bro, it's just a fucking window. I'm gonna have to tone your saturation down a bit.
One day I'll turn the brightness down on my monitor. One day.
What's up, Jonathan?
Not today.
Oh shit! pianist is going hard in the paint. Okay. Why are we mobbing?
What is it, Noah?
I feel like I'm in like a Disney park.
I know. And then we just switch it so quick.
Would you do? How would you describe that little section of music there, Noah? A bit.
Jaunty?
Were we not being a little jaunty there?
I was looking for whimsical, but I'll take jaunty.
Well, it's been whimsical, and I already said whimsical at the start. I can't be repeating myself.
What's up, Palmer?
Oh my.
Oh. Okay. Normally you hear it come back up after they do that, but he just faded.
We're only 4.5 minutes deep.
I know.
This
It
thing's
feels
went through
we've
like
gone
8
through 4
movements.
songs already. Now back to a soft tone again. This is peculiar. Because this is just part 1. I'm
Harmonica?
very... No.
Okay, they used harmonica for half a
For
second.
like half a second. This is just part 1. 2 and 3, I don't know what they're gonna fucking do. And 2 seems to be the most... Okay. Oh, that is pretty. Cole, you know what vibe I'm getting right now?
What would that be, Ryan?
Don't say it. Don't say Charles Mingus.
No.
Okay, good.
There's a reason I singled out Cole. I'm getting that Looney Tunes cartoon silent one where it's just classical music playing, and their actions are what brings it up and down. It speeds it up. Like Barbara Seville shit.
Barbara of Seville is not silent. They
Well, not
singing the whole time.
There is one that is silent though. It's just music. Holy fuck. Okay.
What?
His speed on the piano was mind-blowing. Right there. I was like...
I think he was just sliding down the keys.
I was just reveling in how quick he was hitting everything.
Okay.
Oh my god, the fucking pace changing is insane. Yo, what
Okay.
the fuck? That was
All right.
wild. What
Okay.
was that? That's
I wouldn't say that I loved the beginning. It was, I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just it was bouncing around way too much. It really wasn't letting any one part of anything really take any kind of form or anything. Which I was just like a little off-putting to me. Um, Towards like around the middle and towards the end, I think it got pretty cool because they let certain things develop a little bit more. I really liked the string section that they had towards the end, and the piano playing was very nice. Thought he did a very nice job. Um, I mean, overall, my complaint is that it's just like I would wish they would let like they just don't need certain parts to be in here.
Let shit
I'd
develop.
rather they just yeah, I'd rather just let certain things develop more and become more of a mainstay. But what was the good parts were very good. I enjoyed it for the most part. Um, I would probably give that piece a 7 to 7.5.
Lower than I thought, I'll be honest. Um, okay. So I will agree with what you said about the beginning. A lot of pace changing, a lot of very quick alterations. It would go from fast, loud, soft, quiet. Maybe you would get 5 to as low as 5 seconds. Sometimes you get 10. That seemed to be the first 2 minutes or so of this was just a lot of quick changes. Some of it was really good, but they wouldn't stick with it. Then we had a couple. There was twice where we'd have these soft underbelly parts of the song that I think were supposed to be sort of a beginning to build into that next step like it always is. But I don't really feel like there was ever a build. There was a very, very fast one at the very end of this song. A just immediate transition to a very up-tempo horn layout that just
I
quickly.
didn't love that thing right at the very
You
end.
didn't like that? I liked it because it was aggressive and it surprises you, right? Because they don't prepare you at all. They just throw it in your face, and it's like, oh, here we go, we're bumping again.
It sounded a little silly.
Okay. I think part of it that I enjoyed was a lot of it, or some parts of it, I felt were very show tuney esque. I spoke of the Looney Tunes series that often use classical music in it. I loved that growing up. I loved watching it. So for me, a lot of it reminded me of that. Um, Very unique start. I'm curious to see what the next two parts sound like. I liked it on Spotify. I'm gonna give it an 8. Noah.
That was interesting. First like 4 minutes, not crazy because like Cole said, they didn't really give any part. They didn't really let many parts really marinate.
No.
Fully, fully like develop. There were builds. It's just there was no climax, so you kind of used the build as a segue
Right.
into the other sections. I mean, tonally, everything for the most part sounded good. Maybe a little jaunty at times with some of the horns.
A little bit.
The middle section where it was more somber and the woodwinds kind of just did their thing was really nice. I thought that was really good.
Noah busting out the woodwinds term for the first time in our history of
That
streaming.
yeah, because I don't know which one it is specifically. Someone's gonna name the whole
Name the
branch
whole
of
category
instruments.
to make sure you catch it. Got it. All right.
And in the end, yeah, that's where we get our first like kind of build and climax. Um, yeah, I'm kind of leaning in around what Cole said. I'll go 7 to 7.5.
I'm not
Part
You
two.
could
Italian.
just say
Part
part
two.
two.
Just fucking part two.
Is there classical stuff that you guys listen to like regularly?
Uh, yes. Um, I have a classical playlist actually. I sometimes throw on when I'm working.
Throw on the chill classical beats to sleep/study
I
to.
I I love Debussy. Um,
Wow, you were just the
Is
funniest
it
guy.
no, I'm
is
serious though. The actual
is it
album.
anything? Is it just Claire de Lune?
No, I got Estampes and Images on there as well.
Okay.
But the other thing I like to listen to is just Best of Beethoven. Got
Alrighty.
Furby, Symphony Number 5, all the bangers on there. Mainly when I'm working though. If I'm not working, it's hard to really sit down and let it play
Hold on,
out.
what the?
Going on, problem?
Why the hell is Brian Eno in your classical music playlist?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the song he made sounded like classical music to me.
What is it, like an ending ascent?
It's not though.
Probably is.
No, it's not.
Big fan of what we got going on here. Very pretty.
It's very soft, very much slower. Chopin is the best. Chopin's great.
It's Chopin. I don't know.
I don't know. He's got a couple bangers. You could play at the trap house.
I usually say that for bad stuff, though. Bad stuff and, like, overwhelmingly silly stuff.
Exactly, DH2 playing. It's not classical music.
Okay, but sometimes songs can sound like classical music, but not be under that genre. That's perfectly fine to call it classical music.
But it's not.
Okay,
So
it's
why
perfectly
would
fine to
you-
put in a classical music playlist, though.
It's incorrect, but it is a free country. You can do what you want.
I know it's called Piano Concerto in G major, but I am surprised that. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but he's very good at piano. Very, very good at it.
It's almost like he does it for a living.
I'm just saying, I shouldn't be surprised.
Almost
I
like
just
he's
never,
a
I've
classically
never heard,
trained
I've
pianist.
never heard of him before, so I figured I would have heard of him if he was that good, but I just never heard of him.
How many piano players have you heard of, Ryan?
And the big ones,
The big ones.
yeah. Beethoven,
5
Bach,
people?
all the other ones. I mean, do you want me to go down my classical playlist and name every single one for you that I've heard
No,
of?
that's cheating.
don't. I mean, the guy who's playing this did not write it.
Whoever is playing the piano is very good at
Yeah,
playing
he's a
piano.
classically trained pianist. Be weird if he wasn't.
I don't really get why Bach is often ranked higher than Mozart or Beethoven.
Me either,
I find it
'cause I know
really
nothing about
hard
it.
to rank any of the top composers just because I don't really know what separates them other than me liking a song more than the other.
Probably more.
How would that apply?
Advanced.
I don't know why that would apply to anyone else.
It's probably more whoever has more advanced and impactful compositions. I'd guess.
Those three are pretty much
I'm
all
pretty
at the
sure
top.
it's got to be Beethoven, right? Kind of the
It was
OG.
pretty much just. I don't think he was the oldest.
No, I mean not the oldest, but like he was the guy who, like, I mean, half of my, not half, but a large part of my classical playlist is Beethoven.
Do not go off of what is in your playlist.
Bach influenced the others. So Bach is the Velvet Underground of classical music.
So he's not as good, but he helped people who were better.
We're not doing this right now. Not doing this right now. This is pretty.
I wouldn't say that piano was having a great back and forth with the strings.
I couldn't tell if they were supposed to be or not.
Sounded more like just an accompaniment of each other.
Is Viva La Vida in the classical playlist? No, Viva La Vida
I
is
wouldn't.
not.
Why not? It's just as classical as Brian Eno.
Is Limp Bizkit in the classical playlist?
I don't know if I would have done the piano like this here. I might have just let this be a solo.
Nah.
I probably
That's
would have
good.
slowed it down.
Yeah, it feels like it's turning off the timing a bit here for this, whatever that instrument is.
No, this
A
is good,
violin?
man. That's good. Very pretty. Nookie in G minor concerto. He did it all for thy Nookie.
Pianists
Pianist.
always blow my mind because, especially like the top tier of them, just what they're able to do and how quickly they're able to do it is very impressive. With how many different technical notes they're playing at the same time. It's
They
just
don't
very
blow my
impressive.
mind because I don't have a bass line. I don't play piano.
I mean, I took piano lessons for a little bit, and that shit was hard.
I mean, I've dabbled. It is pretty hard. I think it's the hardest instrument I've certainly tried.
Plus the pedals, of course. I mean, it's just all of it makes it difficult. Oh, wow. This is hitting right now. Like when they finger two keys real quick.
Do a little flutter.
Yeah.
That's what I'll call it.
A butterfly.
It's
Like,
probably more than two.
A trill, one might say. That was more musically appealing to me than the first part. Especially when I'm going into classical music, I tend to expect more somber stuff. And that's just my view of classical music.
You want your ballads.
I do. That's my view of classical music when I think of it. And I got it. This was very pretty. I have no baseline of piano playing, and it's not like there's a video so I can see what he's playing and express the technical abilities going on. But I mean, it sounded really good, and it seemed rather impressive.
yeah.
You doing all right there, Ryan?
I just reading
That's
a
not what
comment.
he's laughing at.
Keep going.
When the violin, the other strings, and the piano were all playing at once, that was very pretty.
Yeah.
Where the piano was kind of just cascading over it. These like pretty lines going up and down. I thought that accompanied the rest of the instrumental really nice. I just like it more than the other one. I'd give that an 8.
Okay. Cole?
Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna agree with Noah here. In terms of the rating. I am a big ballad boy.
Boy.
Love me a nice ballad. Huge fan. Very nice string arrangements. Very pretty. Obviously, very nicely played piano. Maybe sometimes where I thought he might have been doing too much, or it just wasn't like, perfectly written for what else was happening. But besides that, it had a nice vibe, good atmosphere to it. It was very pretty. I'll agree. I'll give it an 8.
8 as well. Okay. So I completely agree with what you two said. This is a much more complete song, in my opinion, than the previous one was, which was fluttering through all different types of tempos, pace changes, speeds, and different types of music. This one stuck to what it was. It was a ballad from start to finish. There was an increase in the tempo at a couple times. I really thought the violin section was fantastic. I mean, what a beautiful violin. I think that was a violin. I really hope it was a violin, but whatever string instrument it was beautiful to hear. The only critique I have was what I already pointed out during the song. During the violin section, I really wish they had let the piano either slowed it down, as Cole mentioned, or just made it an entire solo, because that violin was beautiful, and it could have been a minute and a half by itself. This felt very like when you're watching Disney movies and you get to that one scene after all the bad stuff has happened and the character who's gone through all that bad stuff is just sitting there alone singing thoughts to themselves out loud under a dark moon or something. That was what this felt like. That type of scene in a movie. So far this piano concerto has been very soundtrack-ish. I could see this in a lot of different shows and older movies. Very interested to see if that continues in the last part. We have a much shorter part coming up, but I was a big fan. This is an 8.5 for me. I mean, I enjoyed that a lot more. We shall see how Piano Concerto in G major finishes with part 3, Presto. Great name for a ending part, Presto.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be big.
Okay, that's a really fast piano. Wow.
Hell yes, we got the wood block.
Sleigh bell
Oh my god, it's a
sound.
movie. They used the wood block.
Bang. Oh my god. It does, Jonathan. It really does. This guy loves using just sudden bursts out of nowhere.
That oboe was going crazy.
I can only put 4 on there, Cosmic. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. was that fucking horn there for a second? Bow. Like a sad elephant. I feel like I'm in a circle right now. Okay, well, that was part 3. Very, very different from the previous 2 parts. You guys want me to start? I guess I'll start. So yeah, I obviously with a name like Presto as the name of the 3rd part, you expect something bigger. And I kind of think that happened. It was certainly burstier. It certainly hit you with a lot more boom, 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 really quick, and then it would just go like to this very softer but timing, like very quick tempos. Everything, especially the piano, was just. I mean, they were playing it fast. They were playing it, or he was playing it fast. Whoever was playing it very, very fast. This was a very tempo-oriented one. The only things I particularly liked about it was how they combined the horns with the burst at times. That big, 4 or 5 different bursts you got with the piano was really cool. I enjoyed that sort of effect that they did. I thought it was kind of structured poorly though. Again, a little loose with the constant changing of the tempos and pace, the constant changing of when we bring in the burst, when we give you a lot of big sound. Played a little loose, and the end was a little disappointing. I didn't like the end. I thought it would be could have been a little better. Probably the weakest one for me, 6.5 to a 7.
I mean, yeah, with this one, I just felt like I had even less to really grasp onto than the first one. It was so rapid. But I feel like that was the point of it. To be really crazy and dramatic way of finishing out the
Yeah.
trilogy, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive.
It's very
You know?
impressive to listen to. I just don't
It's
know if
impressive instrumentally and composition wise. It's just not a type of music I listen to because it gets a little too goofy at times for me. That's the vibe I get at points. Like there's some really pretty moments and really interesting moments, but melodically it just loses me at points. I'd give it a 7.
Okay. Cool.
I feel like it was a more, I suppose, a more focused version of the first one, in that it just picked like to go very energetic throughout the
Yeah.
whole thing,
It did.
which can certainly be a good thing. Um, I do wish that it had sounded a little bit fuller at times. I mean, like, you know, because I'm a massive classical music normie. But like the stuff that I've looked up that I've enjoyed, that's like more up tempo and more kind of all over the place, just it sounds bigger than that does. I mean, that had some really impressive performances. Like the piano playing at one point was like, how the fuck are you doing that?
So insanely fast.
Um, but it just kind of lacked a certain kick to it that I would have liked. It just didn't sound as grand as I think they might have wanted it to. Um, I don't entirely know why that's the case. Maybe more instruments in the mix would have helped it. I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, I still thought it was a solid piece of music. I'll probably give it a 7.
Yeah, 18 minutes long. Hopefully, it also includes the London Symphony Orchestra. So, famous orchestra here on this one. We shall see. Let's get it. Finishing off our paid album request with Piano Concerto for the left hand in D major. Featuring Christian Zimmerman, London Symphony Orchestra, and Pierre Boulez.
London Symphony Orchestra. Those are the boys right
Once you
there.
come out
That's
here.
that's a big one right there. 8.5 million monthly listeners for classical music. That's pretty high.
That's who I think that's who John Williams would use.
I would not be surprised.
Look at those couple of fellas on the cover.
Of the London Symphony Orchestra, or on the cover of the album. Oh, the
Must
two
be
good.
Chads on that album cover just chilling. Look at
Look at
those
those guys.
plaid jackets they're wearing. Good God.
One of
They
those
just look like they're gonna
plaid.
try and sell me something. I don't know what it is.
The
but
guy on
they're
the right,
gonna try.
Timeshare.
the guy on the
Yeah.
right looks like he's just the most like typical. I'm cold, but I'm wearing something that makes me feel warm inside.
The fuck does that mean?
I'm just assuming he's freezing because he's cold and he's like, "Ugh."
Those are some 1994 ass suits right there.
I think I may be
Oh,
wrong, but the
released in
M might mean that it's the
1998.
final song. Maybe, but there's a lot of M's on this, so probably not.
Have you guys heard the album Graceland by Paul Simon? I have a very long time ago. Not my favorite album by his, but it's pretty good. I think
I
that's,
haven't-
it's something Ryan would like.
I haven't
Graceland.
finished it, but I know I've heard parts of it.
So, this one's called Piano Concerto for the left hand. Oh, yeah. Now that's an orchestra.
Yeah, I have a feeling the piano's gonna stay in its lower register. If he's talking about the left hand.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if he's only playing with his left hand, or it's just the left side of the piano.
I'm just gonna guess left side.
Oh,
Okay, it's not the left side.
no. Oh my goodness. Chad is fully on board with the Jedi soundtrack right now.
I forgot Star Wars.
I think Homeboy might actually be playing it with just his left hand.
Mhm.
Can't get over how 90s that cover looks.
Big fan.
This is the part where Leia kisses Luke.
Hey, yo!
I was not a big fan of finding out what their relationship was.
Poor Noah. Only watched Star Wars when they turned 19.
Yeah. I like Harry Potter more. More whimsy.
Society failed
Statement
you.
hurt my soul.
Yeah, that really just dug deep. Oh my.
Big fan of the books. I'm not sure how I'd feel seeing this live. I wonder if the crowd would be on any substances. I feel like that'd make it pretty fun.
Wow.
The classical music crowd on substances. I feel like your odds of that are not great.
I'm not seeing it. No, I'm really not.
Like, classical music and just like psychedelics. That just seems like something that'd go together pretty well. Because I feel like these songs paint a lot of images in your mind, so I think it just go together well.
Maybe. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to hear right here.
Black Country New Road inspiration? Are they inspired by Black Country New Road?
Don't ruin this. Give me that soft woodwind. Oh yeah.
WR, I agree. Unless it's Harry Potter. That is the exception.
I fucking love the pacing on this so far. I just looked at it, it's 8 minutes long. I was like, what? Oh shit, boys! We marching. And okay.
That was a slow march or a quick march.
That was almost like Raiders of the Lost Ark for a second
Why
there.
did we do that? What the fuck? I was into that. Oh. Now I'm sad.
We're grooving now.
What the hell was that? Ooh, little Pink Panther. Boom, boom, boom. Not the only one, but sadly, it is one of the ones. Or sadly, I've heard a lot more than I wanted to. This is here. Oh, this boy tripping. Spitting lyrical miracle bars on that piano.
I like how you're calling him boy, and he's probably like double your age.
Well, if we're going off that album cover, yeah, you're probably right. Back to prancing again? Little deer running Bambi? Going to that forest?
Finding
Cole's favorite profile picture of all time?
Finding their mom.
Cole's favorite picture of all time.
He's so happy about what he's done.
One day we'll share that. And I've lost Cole for the next 30 seconds.
It's so good when you know something you're gonna say is going to elicit a reaction like this from somebody.
I know. Oh, this is not what I was expecting right here. Look at him, he's still laughing about it.
It's so fucking
We're Skeletor when you need him, or who the fuck that is.
I have no idea.
Oh man. Yeah, I want the march back too, bro. I was ready to go to war. Enough of this prancing around bullshit. It's
Give me
300
the
this
dance of the
bitch.
sugar plum fairies. Give me my sugar plum fairies right now.
What is this shit, man? Why do I feel like we've transitioned to a whole new song all of a sudden?
This just makes me think about how much King Crimson was like classically influenced.
We're about to,
Specifically, I hear some certain songs in this.
or we were lining up to fight Mordor, and then we're like, oh, but that's like far. Nah, I'm good.
Just take an Uber.
Lord of the Rings 2025. I'm gonna skip the first 2 movies entirely. Okay. See, why do you keep doing that to me? You get me all excited and shit.
Dynamics, man.
A couple of those.
Wouldn't be very interesting if it was all big the whole time.
No, I know, but like, extended a bit. Okay. Big. Oh. What the fuck is this Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy
Whimsy.
bullshit again?
I'm here.
I
for
will
whimsy.
hear no Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies slander.
Bro.
None.
I'm
I will
not
hear no
slandering
Nutcracker.
it.
I will hear no Nutcracker sweet slander. Bitch.
Big ups.
Say one fucking thing.
Big fan of the classical Christmassy music.
Okay, but Noah, do you not agree they're cutting off way too abruptly and short?
I mean, yeah, I agree. All these parts are not as long as I'd want.
And then we get this out of nowhere?
Did we just arrive at Hogwarts for the first time?
Yeah. Sure. Glad to be back.
Wow. That one out for top. Oh. This is sick.
They still got 4 minutes left. What
Shorter
are they
than I
gonna do?
wanted it to be, but that was really cool. But yeah,
Still
we
got
do
4
have
minutes.
4
How are they
minutes
gonna
left.
close
How are you
this
gonna
out?
top that?
Or are we gonna go with the somber ending?
I really hope not, because that was too short. Oh, Flutter, my guy.
Oh my god, this part reminds me of a Mahavishnu Orchestra song. What's that song called?
The Irish Stream song?
Yeah, parts of it remind me of that. I think that's the only song I liked off that album.
That's crazy.
Liked on Spotify, it was what I should say. I enjoyed all of it. Not crazy about John McLaughlin.
I gotta say,
When
if
it
this
comes,
ends up being a 4-minute piano solo at the end, after that triumph of but extremely short bang we had, cool, but like, come on. Oh man, this poll is so close. 3-way tie, essentially.
It's a two-way tie.
Oh yeah, you're correct.
One minute left. Are we going
Ooh.
somber, or are we about to explode out of nowhere?
If he's gonna explode, you know it's gonna explode just randomly.
Yeah, I can feel it. Fucking earthquake going on. Rumbling. Am I right here? That. Is that, or is there an airplane flying over my house?
That was such a Star Wars-esque porn hit.
That? No way you're gonna do that. No
Funny.
shot, you just did that. No. Oh,
I think he did that.
that's so fucking disappointing. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Well, we gotta rate that. There we have it. Piano Concerto in left hand for D major. Wow. Oh man, bro, that's so sad. Okay, all right. We gotta rate it. Cole, let's start with you.
Well, that was certainly a lot. It certainly had moments that was very, very cool. I guess the complaint that I have about it is that I don't remember a lot of it. I mean, granted, how much of a 18-minute instrumental that has that many different phases to it are you gonna remember off of your first listen?
No idea.
But but yeah, I mean, I think it was just like a series of really solid different movements. I wouldn't say that any of them in particular really stood out to me or like wowed me all that much. Um, Obviously, the performances were all very nice. Because you'd be hard pressed to find a classically trained musician who messes something up. Um, but yeah, it didn't really pull me into it that much and keep my focus super well. But it was still like it was far from bad. Um, I'll probably give it. I think I can give it a 7.
Okay, I'll go next. That sort of has been a complaint with these piano concertos throughout this review we've done is a lot of all over the place, as we all talked about. This one being that a little more forgivable because it was a longer one. There was more energy. There's more times where he brought a big uprise very, very quickly, a big boom of noise, sound happened multiple times throughout this. I think I counted 3 of them, I believe. Sort of like a middle or beginning, middle, end type of deal. I've got to say, I'm disappointed. This, to me, started off, especially the first 8 minutes. I was all for this, in love with it, thought this was fantastic, thought this was going to be one of the better, pieces of classical music I'd heard just by the start of it, and how they had this one big marching sound, and it felt like we were building up to an incredible ending. And it really slid off after that. I was very disappointed with the middle, even the middle end of this. Really, I mean, there was one really cool at about the 14-minute mark where we had our second to last big roar of music, a roar of everything coming together. But again, it only lasted maybe 5 to 10 seconds tops, and then it dies off again and goes into these prancing stuff and all over and changing paces and doing these softer things. That is cool, but when you're building up for something and you only do it on a very short timer very quickly, and you're not really rewarding the listener for what you're building up to. And I feel very disappointed with especially how that ended. That ending was not, I'm not a fan, because I loved what it did, but it died so quickly. They killed it almost as soon as they started it. I was so disappointed. I thought we were gonna have a 30 to 45 seconds of just pure boom right in your face, and all this angst that it builds up for, that you're trying to go through to get to that, it dies off, and it killed me. Not I'm very sad, because the first 8 minutes I really, really thought I was going to give this song a 10, and I mean, I'm disappointed. That's a 6. I'm very disappointed. Noah.
It feels very unfair to rate a song like this after one listen.
Yeah, that's also true.
You're fed such a large amount of content in a relatively short amount of time that a lot of it can't stick with you. You just mentally can't comprehend it all at once.
You can't. Yeah.
This is something you'd have to hear like a lot of times to really fully grasp. But I'll try my best from a first listen perspective to talk about it. I liked him for a good amount of time sticking in the lower register of the piano. I just think that tonally it sounds better. I like the more bassy side of the piano than the higher pitch side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, he kind of just moves between parts without resolving them or transitioning them or fully fleshing out the idea into something,
or giving you something to grip your
something
teeth
more
into.
Yeah, something like that, and something more impactful to the song, and it doesn't feel like you're just moving from part to part. I mean, it's still enjoyable, far from bad, like Cole said, but yeah, I'm also feeling a 7.
Final rankings time. It's going to be a little bit odd. I don't think we've ever done a final rankings on just songs, but we'll try our best. So if you've never been here before, what we normally do is we take our top 3 of an album and put it in order. Granted, this is not in an album, although technically this one is in an album. We did not do the whole album here. So we're just going to rank the 4 songs in order of what we enjoyed, and then give them a overall ranking. I'll start real quick, because I think
I think we can rate our overall experience.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. I guess to put these in order, I would probably say part 3 of G major. I'll just say part 3, part 1, and then part 2 would be my favorite. How I would order it. I didn't know what was this guy? Maurice Ravel was before coming into this, so I had no idea what type of composer, or what type of, whether he's the pianist, whether he's the composer, whatever, to expect. That being said, I did enjoy quite a lot of the bursts that he would do. I just wish this whole thing would have been more inquisitive. Go deeper into what you seem to be very, very entertaining at. Make it, explore it a bit more, flesh it out more, do more with it. And every single time, it failed to do that for me. It didn't live up to the expectations almost every time. I thought part 2 did it a bit better, because the whole song was a slow ballad type of song. I really enjoyed that. That was the ones I gave higher ratings to when he went deeper into that. So I really enjoyed this. It was fun to do some classical music on this channel, but ultimately I wish there was more to it. I'm going to give it the totality of these songs a 7.5. Noah.
Are we ranking them first?
Yeah, go ahead.
At 3, I'll go the 18-minute one, which I just put down as M82.
Okay.
At 2, I would go with part 1 of the trilogy. And at number 1, I would go with part 2 of the trilogy.
Fair.
I went into this expecting to be like really fucking bored.
Not boring.
And I wasn't.
Definitely
I wasn't.
not bored.
It was a lot to sink your teeth into, for better or worse, from a reviewing aspect, because he gives you a lot to talk about, and it's hard to really have all of it sink in. It was really enjoyable. I mean, there was no part of it that I would consider bad. I mean, maybe some parts were a little goofy, a little jaunty. But overall, it was definitely a very enjoyable experience. Pretty impressive compositionally. I just wish he kind of delved deeper into some of the really good ideas he had and fleshed them out.
Yep.
If I was to rate my overall experience of listening to these, I'd go 7.5 to an 8.
Okay. A little higher. All right, cool.
My ranking is going to be identical to Noah's.
Oh.
I thought there was a lot of good moments here, as I assume y'all did, but there was a bit of a lack of consistency across the board for me. Although part 2 is pretty consistent,
Yep.
just pretty
Straight
throughout most of
ballad.
it. Yeah, I just didn't think that for the most part it just wasn't super focused. And I would have preferred it to have been that. But yeah, it was still good. There's still a lot there to enjoy. The totality of the 4 songs, I'll give a 7 to a 7.5.
7 to a 7.5. Well, there we have it. That was the Piano Concertos in G major, part 1 through 3, and Piano Concerto for left hand in D major as well. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, for the left hand in D major. Thank you so much to one of our subscribers who paid for this request. I hope you guys did enjoy it. You can also pay for some album requests in the description below. You can DM us on Discord. You can DM us on Twitter. You can send an email to our business email on the YouTube description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy a little something different for today. If you did, leave a like down below and hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when we go live for future album reviews. And come join our Discord. Links in the description. Follow us on Twitter. Post when we go live, and we post when we upload a video. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great one.